What we're going to do now is show you how to apply micro rings. This is a human hair pieces. They come individually and they're secured with micro rings. So as we start, we have got this hair sectioned out. As you can see, we have part of the hair here, keeping everything nice and clean and securing the hair out of the way. As you can see there's a nice parting, and you would pick up about 2 or 3 millimeters of hair in little sections. As you can see Carleen doing, she's picking up a little piece and then sliding it through the micro rings. With the micro rings as well, you can get various sizes, depends on the client's needs, of course. So you place the micro ring right up to the top of the head, and then you pick up your hair strand, and it's a little bit harder on the end, so you place it inside that and then you clamp it down. What we do in the salon is put 2 micro rings on each strand, because we found that it just gives it that little bit of security and it holds a lot better. It is important to prepare the hair before you actually start the procedure, and one of the important things is to make sure that you don't use any serum in the hair prior to applying them, because it makes the hair very slippery. Therefore the micros mightn't stay as well. Don't use it at least until you're finished. So as you can see with the bottom layer, you need to place them very close to one another so you are filling up all that area. Literally putting them in every second strand. The reason for that at the moment is because we're actually adding length to our client. If we were only adding volume, then of course you wouldn't need quite as many. So you would sort of scatter them around at different places so that it fills up the contour of the head. Just being careful not to pull the hair too much, because if you pull it right up to the scalp line, it obviously makes the client's head uncomfortable. Micro links are actually quite safe to use because there's no bonding and no glues or anything like that that's going to upset the client or interfere with the hair. All you need to do is, if you want to remove them, is to put pressure on the micro links and sort of loosen them up by pressing on the opposite side. Therefore they just slide out very easily. When it comes to the crown of the head, you can see that we don't need to place them every strand or every second strand. You could scatter it. You don't need a lot on the top area, because if you do put too much, it can get too heavy and it won't feel comfortable either. Generally speaking, I think on an average hair you would need about 100 strands to 120. Any more than that can be a bit exaggerated. Obviously the thicker the hair, the more strands you would need, so that it sort of balances it. Finer hair you'd probably need a little less. But it is about visual, so when you are applying them, always keep in mind how you want it to look and where to place them. When you have finished applying them, then you style the hair accordingly or trim it. It's important to always make sure that you texturize it or splice it so that the short ends and the long ends are actually blending together and you're not getting these great big gaps. That makes the big difference as to whether it looks natural or not. And then if you wanted to use shine serum or anything like that, you can always do that on the ends. Going back to the fact that we don't like using it near the micro links is because it makes them slide out. But you can certainly put it on the outer part of the hair. All the products that you have seen are available at Lydia's Hair Salon, and also if you go to our webpage, they are available to be purchased online. The webpage is www.lydiashairsalon.com.au.